Hello everybody, my name is Ace. Welcome back to the T0 to T6 Abyss series. We previously tested out a run with the Zealot on the test server and it seemed to work out pretty well. One thing that we actually needed from that, or found out, at least in my case, that I needed, is I need to train a few drone skills to be able to use the drones. Now I'm not going to make this character like a really good drone pilot because that's not the focus here. You're going to have to spend so much skill points if I were to get good drone skills. But what I want to primarily be able to do is at least to be using the 5 drones, and eventually I want to be able to use the Tech 2 one. So I'll get the drones level 5 because this enables us to use 5 different drones. So I think I'll maybe have the drones level 5 after the heavy assault cruiser there, because I would want to have this there. And then we put a few levels of drone specialization. You could put level 3 maybe even level 4 as well. So we just get a little bit extra, DPS from the drones when we eventually get there. We can use a bit of skills right here with the skill points we got from some login rewards. There we go. So we're already able to use 4 drones because we've got level 4. No, actually level 3. Soon level 4. Then we'll get this heavy assault cruisers done. I think we will probably be in a situation where we would be able to use the Zealot in the T3 Abyss. I think it'll be really well. But in the meantime, I'm going to be farming some basic T1s because I just want to continue getting a little bit of extra ISK in the Retribution. Next, we're going to just focus even more on testing out the Zealot, just getting used to it. You really need to get the muscle memory going. Always when you're using a new fit, it's so important to get that muscle memory down because it can really help you a lot. Making quick decisions can really sometimes change a situation from being one where you lose your ship to one where you prevail. Many times I've died in the Abyss, and I've noticed that, okay, I could have actually survived there if I thought a little bit, or I'd thought a little bit quicker, or I had done something slightly different. Like, for example, something different I could have done right now is to put some filaments in my cargo holders. As we can see here, I forgot. So I should get some filaments right there. One thing I've noticed is that our fit right here has become a lot cheaper than it used to be. It used to be a lot more expensive, or not a lot more, but like it was 40 million, and I already thought 40 million ISK for our entire ship is pretty cheap. But you know what? Now our entire ship goes for only 35 million. We'll see here. We're going to safe. The fitting tab, 35.6 million. So I mean, we've got a pretty cheap ship right here. You can earn this back really quickly in the T1s. Now I can't move my mouse above here. I don't know what's happening. What's happening right here? I can't move my mouse above. Okay, now I can move my mouse. Something was happening with my mouse. We'll form a fleet and go into the Abyss. The great thing about the T3s will just be getting those good filament drops. Like, for example, say if we get something like this, like Chaotic Electric, 22 million, just like that. That's definitely stuff we can get. I think it's as likely to get T5 filaments in T3s as it is to get the T3s in T1s like we're doing now, because we get now and then T3s in the T1s we're doing now. So we'll probably be stumbling across T5s there as well. And maybe in rare cases T6s, because I do sometimes in rare cases find T4s here in the T1 Abyss, and I think it's the same probability as getting like that many tiers higher. Just my guess. Go towards the cumulative cache. Take out Mr. Echo over here, who's going to web us to death. It's alright. He's a little scrub. We can even go with Corn Flag. There we go. I get closer to this guy over here. We've got Web of Fire. Yeah, so we'll just beam him down. Orbit him real close. Now we have to use armor repair. So you get full damage. He's going to be applying a lot without tracking assist, but it's alright because we've got a decent amount of tank on our ship right here. Popped. Okay, let's go to the cache. Grab the loot, transfer conduit time. There we go, just get the UI in position. Devoted Knight, oh. Deadly wave, need to be a little bit careful. Gonna be orbiting Scorch range. Orbit 10 kilometers. His newt is really powerful within 10 kilometers. When we orbit with the MWD, we will be just outside 10 kilometers. So it should be alright. You can see he's only doing 16 gigajoules, something like that. So we're pretty safe like this. He's missing a lot. Could even orbit further away, but I mean it's a decent range we've got right here. He's not able to webify us even. So we take very little damage. In fact, we don't even need to use our armor pair for the time being. Pulsey pulse. Pulse away. I want to bang into these rocks over here. And popped. Let's go to the buy commitment of cash. See how powerful this Retribution is. Like, devoted knights are usually big problem waves for T1s, and just we're slapping them like it's no issue whatsoever. Just a simple orbit, 10 kilometers, and scorch. Take them down in just like under a minute. Next wave. And just doing our product discovery in the meantime. Or no, it is not overlapped. Where's our ISK balance? 370 million. Soon 400 even. I committed to cash. Lucid Deep Watcher. Oh, these are annoying ways. It's just so much HP. Just pulse that by committed for cash now so we get the loot. I've sort of let go of the idea of doing DD sites in the Retribution, but they could be very good. It's just the reason is I could even do it in the future, the DD sites, but it's just we're so close to getting the Zealot right now. I want to focus a little bit on that, and then we will go to then maybe we could go to DD sites. But the thing is, DD sites can be a bit annoying because this unpredictable, not as predictable as Abyss, so it's not going to be earning as consistent ISK as we are in the Abyss. I would preferably in this series want to focus, if I can help it, mostly on Abyss. I mean, you can see we're not getting our ISK purely from Abyss right here. We're getting a lot of stuff from login rewards, a lot of stuff from product discovery. I want to, like, this series I want to focus on like how I would get to T6 Abyss as quick as possible if I was a new player, and primarily using different tiers of Abyss as a way to work myself up. But I can imagine for the 3 out of 10s, even maybe the 4 out of 10s if I'm brave, Retribution could be very good. Maybe 2 out of 10s, 3 out of 10s. Maybe get some nice armor pair, something like that. Some Corelli or Corpi, you know, Blood Raiders. You can do a lot of damage when we're against the Blood Raiders or Sancha. And they have low EM resist. So same concept as like the electrical side, low EM resist tiers, or makes our ship pretty favorable. Same thing with like the pirates. It would be good to use our ship against the Sanchas and Blood Raiders. They're not moving, so we need to move a bit. Move, please. We don't want to get stuck and get the Lucid Deep Watcher missiles to our face. That'll be very annoying. And take a lot of damage then. I was thinking I could use an Assault Damage Control as a defensive module instead of the Reactive Armor Hardener. The reason I chose against it was because, like, we get a slight increase in buffer from the Assault Damage Control, but the thing is, it increases our buffer because it increases our shield HP. And the thing is, half of the time our shields are not going to be full, like if we're taking damage, that is. So like now we're having shields that like shield HP is here, but it's not going to be our primarily like buffer tank. You could say I would say more our armor and structure are our proper buffer tank, and that's the thing that is increased most with the Reactive Armor Hardener over here. And I guess the Assault Damage Control is very useful in case Abyss ganks happen, because then you could go into that and then be very resistant to that. You just pulse the coerce or destroy or whatever kind of little scrub is trying to kill you. So that would be very good for that situation. You'll be a bit more multi-purpose, I would say, with an Assault Damage Control. It's just unfortunate I can't fit a Tech 2 Assault Damage Control just because of the fitting. Fitting is a bit limited. The Tech 2 Assault Damage Control gives a bit of CPU overload. You can either fit the compact or the enduring ones, but the buffer is so close to the Reactive Armor Hardener that I don't think it's worth it. But I don't know. I mean, on the other hand, we are tanking so good these sites, so it could be there's no real point to tank more in the sites. It's maybe more important to be able to tank a potential Abyssal gank, because this Reactive Armor Hardener is probably not going to do a whole lot against an Abyssal gank, because they're just going to have a lot of burst DPS, and it's not like it's going to react or anything like that, and it does maybe gives a little bit more armor buffer, but it's usually going to be our pure buffer that's going to affect the ability to survive an Abyssal gank, because we just want to have as much HP as possible to be able to not get popped by whatever kind of ship they're using to gank. And plus, on top of that, you get like a really crazy buff where the Assault damage control's function of just increasing your resist for a short period of time. So it could be good. It could be good. I just think for the Abyssal, I'm not too worried about getting ganked in T1s. Though you can definitely get ganked in T1s. That's the thing. I have been ganked before in a T1 when I was using a worm. I was very just complacent, not thinking at all that I'm going to get ganked, and I actually got ganked. Because someone was hunting T1s and even T2s, I think, and it's because there are people who go around and do the T1s and T2s in very expensive ships. It's very common, so it's actually quite profitable to gank the low tier filaments. So I was not paying attention and I just got ganked straight away. I maybe could have, even if I paid attention, I maybe would have got killed. But I was using a worm, and the guy who was using a course to destroy, just one destroy, that's all it took, and just popped me. A very quick death. If I was using a Retribution, maybe it would have been a different situation, because I could maybe use my agility to get out of range. Or if I had let's say I had an Assault damage control, orbit this guy. If I had an Assault damage control, then I definitely would have survived. I would have had the buff to just get through that really quickly and just brute force tank the guy. So it could actually be fun, because in the case I would get ganked, it would be fun to just be able to resist it with very little effort. Because, I mean, say someone like a lone courser tries to gank me again, and I have got an Assault damage control here. All I'd need to do is just approach. As soon as he starts shooting, I activate Assault damage control, use my pulse lasers and pulse him until he dies or until Concord comes, because there's no way he's going to get through all our HP before either he dies or Concord comes to save the day. Because we would have so much HP and so much more DPS. So it could actually be fun to have an Assault damage control. So maybe it could be an option. We could do something like this if we were to have an Assault damage control. If we were to remove the reactive armor hardener, then we'd have an Assault damage control. You can see here Tech 2 is not possible. I preferably want to have Tech 2 because it's going to be a lot better, you know. But we can only fit the Enduring, unfortunately. Just about. 0 CPU to spare. I'm just curious, what's the difference between the Compact and the Enduring? Because Enduring usually means less capacity usage, and you can see there's a little bit of less capacity usage of 0.1 gigajoules, but not like that's going to mean anything. But maybe the duration is a bit different. That could be something. Let's see, the duration is 8.78. 8.78. Okay, there's not really much reason to go for the Enduring, to be honest. The Shadow Serpentis would be nice, but very expensive. You can see you give a shield or 10.8 seconds, 2 extra seconds, and every second matters when you're using Assault damage controls. Because I mean, it's where a period of very great endurance of your ship is going to be so powerful during that time, and every extra second counts when it comes to getting ganked. You want to be able to survive as long as you can until Concord arrives, and there are very specific times for Concord to come and save you. And if you're not able to survive before Concord comes, it's going to be bad times. Okay, let's approach this guy. Use call flags to get it over quick with. Approach him now. And the Aegis do actually more damage, according to a viewer mentioned to me that I've heard that before that Aegis do more damage, and someone said that yeah, it's true, actually they do more damage. The Lucid Aegis frigates do more damage than the escorts. A little bit like Assault frigate type of sleeper frigates. Next room, curb this. Oh, I do not need D-scan. Okay. And not need the fitting either. Go to the biocommunicative cache first. Popped. Grab the loot. See what we get here. Nothing special. But it would be very fun if we were to get ganked with an Assault damage control. It's unfortunate though that ganks don't happen too often, in the lower tiers. It used to be, I noticed it used to happen a lot, but I've not really encountered many. I've been running so many T1s and I've never really encountered much ganks. Could perhaps be that people don't want to gank T1 electricals, because T1 electricals will probably have a big surplus of retributions running them, and the retribution, just generally speaking, is not a very gankable ship. I mean, it's a very little ship, hard to hit, high DPS, generally speaking quite tanky. I don't think people tend to bling their retributions as much as they would do hawks or worms, because usually hawks or worms, they'll be carrying like really expensive shield boosters that are worth a lot. I don't see as much bling fits, generally speaking, in the retributions. There are people who use bling fits in retributions, like armor repairs. They're very expensive, but even armor repairs, they're not as expensive as the bling shield boosters. But I just, generally speaking, I don't see as often bling on the retribution. I think it's just because it's such a capable ship all round, so it doesn't need much bling. In the low tiers, that is. In high tiers, definitely people bling. We'll probably then go with the enduring just for the sake of it, because we can use that CPU. But it would be fun if there was a way to make so that we can get the... If we could get the Tech 2 to work. Maybe if we were to have a compact something. Small armor repairer. Perhaps there is Holland armor repair, small compact. Tech 2, not much difference, to be honest. The CPU is only a tiny bit different. I've noticed Shadow's Apprentice can give a bit less CPU, but that's more expensive. Because this has got very good time on its activation duration, 10.12 seconds, or 2 extra seconds do mean a bit. I would say they're definitely worth it if we're able to somehow squeeze it in. Perhaps if I were to use a compact... Oh, we're already using a compact MWD. We're really min-maxing this fit. Let's go and do another filament. What is our ISK at? 73 million. We've earned 3 million so far with Project Disco. Okay, calm, electric. And I've not actually added these to the overview, so I want to add these to the overview just so you can see them properly. Activate filament. Let's go. Can move this up here. Little rogue drones. Scorch seems to be pretty effective at taking them out, even though it's reduced DPS, the tracking is so much better. So much better tracking. And just pulse them away, just get perfect hits all the time. Conflag misses half the time. Just popped. Ah, I wanted to just click there, but it didn't loot. Lock all these guys up. Popped. And popped. And popped. Super easy, super easy. Little rogue drones. Stand no chance against our deadly retribution. To the transfer conduit just so we have it in range. Destroyed. What is our loot now? 9 million so far. Not a whole lot actually. Can definitely get more. Strike grip tessera. The kinetic variant of the Rogue Drone Battle Cruiser. What is our kinetic resist? Pretty high, so it's actually very good here. Type of Rogue Drone Battle Cruiser to face. You don't want to face the Ember grip or the Spark grip. Do thermal and EM down. Oh, 3 million. That's good, that's good. Can I please grab my loot? Never mind, he's just going to come close and destroy me. it's so frustrating, the looting with the frigates. You want to just click it and it's just the ship decides to just fly by. Decides to fly by. Can maybe take another swing at the loot. See if we can grab it here. There we go. What was the transfer conduit? Destroyed. So that was nice to see. 3 million ISK from one site or one run, one room. You could say is very good, just because of these fierce electricals we've got right here. Fierce exotic as well. So imagine when we're doing the T3s, those would instead be T5s. Very likely. The thing is though, we're not going to get as much filaments in general, just because the loot multiplier is not multiplied by 3 like it is in the frigate sites. So we're getting per run like 3 times more filaments than we would get when we do the T3s later. Let's go for this. Buy a bit of cash. Grab this. Grab this. 1.4. We can use conflag now.
A module has run out of charges.
Popped. Just use the high DPS ammo now to just take out these little dammers. Go for this one. Making some good progress with product discovery right here. It's actually very nice to have this little notification feed up here, so I don't click it accidentally when I'm making the big boxes like this one right here. So I can just get it without much interruption. So Abyssal loot, 14 million. Decent, decent. Let's go back to station, or locations we've got right here. We can just remove this now. Instadock. Let's go. So we've got the skills training, drones, and heavy assault cruise level 4. When I get heavy assault cruise level 4, maybe after drones 5, I think after heavy assault cruise level 4, but maybe I could even postpone it a bit until drones level 5. I'll be running the T3 electrics and the Zealot. That's when we will pull the trigger on a Zealot. It'll be fun. You know, I'm curious actually. We can check here. What's the price on a Zealot? Because if the Zealot is at a low point in its like market price history, maybe it could be a good idea to grab it. Let's see now. Oh, it's actually pretty low right here. It was even lower before, but now it's quite low. So you know what? Maybe we will just buy it straight away, the fit, just so that we can have it. So that in case the Zealot goes up in price, at least we don't like, you know, have to spend more money later. So we'll buy this right here. Zealot. See now, what is the total price? 322 million. Oh, it's even cheaper than this here. Look at multi-fit. Zealot. Feels so cool to have this cruiser right here. We can even take a look at the ship. Do we have the ammunition in here? Yeah. Imperial Navy multi-frequency M. How much does this go for? 2.6 million for this whole stack of loot, or the ammo stack right here. Probably you should carry some boosters as well, just in case. But I don't think it will be necessary. Conflagration. 600 DPS. Proudly looking at my Zealot that I've worked towards getting. Let's sell the loot from the Retribution we had before. So you can see the jump in price of ships. Like our ship right here is about 1/10 of the price of the Zealot. It sort of goes, like the jumps between filaments goes up a lot in price. Okay, grab the loot and sell. Oh, we still got 51 million left. Oh, I got ripped off a bit. 12 million. I think the Zealot, we would want to just put some We can put some extra ammunition in right here. So we can put some extra 5 of these. Just feels nice to have an equal amount of every single one. Multi frequency M. Then drones we obviously can't use at the moment. So that's it. Training drone skills, farming more T1 sites in the Retribution. We're going to be testing out the T3 Zealot on the test server more to make some more tests with it, just to make sure we've got the muscle memory down, make sure our ship is capable. And then when we've got heavy Zealot cruise level 4, we'll take this out for a spin in the T3 and start earning some DAC. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.